Hello, welcome to the 323rd session of Tesos and Wi-Fi. This is Fernando Munoz with Wireless LAN Professionals. Today is Thursday, April 2nd of 2026. Today I'm going to show you how to install Orb on WLANPi and have two interfaces running. So Orb, for those of you who don't know what it is this great tool that allows you to get a score from your connection. Not just running speed tests and giving you a big number, but just gathering a whole bunch of information, reachability, reliability, responsiveness, and yeah, if you want to speed, you can do that, but it does it for you automatically. And instead of saturating the medium constantly or with big transfers, it just does a constant scanning and testing and giving you an easy number to read. So one of the struggles we had was if we have a WLANPi, a device that many of us in the industry love, that has an Ethernet connection and it has some Wi-Fi NICs, how can we install Orbs on each of those interfaces and monitor them separately? So here's how we accomplish that. We have the WLANPi. Let's just run this here from scratch. The IP address for this guy is 187. So if I SSH, actually let's start with the web interface for this WLANPi, which is going to be, let me bring one of these windows in here. Okay, 192.168.128.187. That is this WLANPi right here. It's running version 3.4. Let me just bring this guy over here. Okay, so it's running version 3.4.4. And to install it is very simple. We've created a file that does pretty much everything for you. So the instructions are here. I will post it on the notes. Let me just bring the installing dual Orbs. It's basically a three-step process. First, we're going to copy that file to the WLANPi. Then we're going to run that file on the WLANPi, and we'll just need to reboot the Pi. That's it. 3 steps. And that's how we're going to get it done. So, first, and the file I will also provide to you. That's this guy over here, the WLANPi dual orb 102 deb file. So first thing we're going to do is copy that file to the Pi. So I'm going to go to my terminal and I'm going to, well, let's access the WLANPi from here. SSH WLANPi is the user. The IP address 128.187, and since I've joined this previously, if it's broken, the command to delete that is going to be SSH key gen minus capital R and the IP address 68128.187. It removes that entry, and now I would be able to SSH to my WLANPi. The password is just password. It's a test environment, and there it is. I am inside the Pi. So I will open a new terminal window. So all you have to do is just navigate to whatever your file is. So I have that file inside downloads. So here we go. I have the WLANPi file in there, the dual orb. Hello, welcome to the 323rd session of Tesos. To copy it over to the WLANPi, I'll just do secure copy, SCP, WLANPi, and tab will autofill the name, and then I'll just specify that it's going to username WLANPi, the IP address of the Pi, and then colon, then just put it right there. And it asks for the password for the Pi. And there it is. Now the file is copied over to the Pi. So if I do There's the WLANPi 102. That's the one I want to run. To install it, then I'll just run the sudo apt install and then the name of the file. I can just copy this and paste it over there. So sudo apt install and then the name of the file that I need to run. Type the password. And that's it. So now I just do a sudo reboot. It will reboot the Pi. Pi will come up, and when it comes back up, it will install the Orb. Orb is an application that will detect any Pis that I have over here, any Orbs that I have running on my network. I may have exceeded the limit of Orbs that I can have on this account, so maybe I'm going to have to remove some of these guys. Well, let's find out first if it lets me add more. Once the Pi comes up, in the instructions, let me just go back in there. Still not up. In the instructions, I also have some other commands. If you happen to make a copy of that image, clone it, and have multiple ones, it's going to keep the Orb IDs and host names. So you want to, on a new Pi, run the sudo orb reset identity. This will delete any old Orb IDs that you have on the image and just create a new one. And this command will run. Let me just go over here and go back into it. And then I'll just run that command, sudo orb reset identity. Type the password, and then it just deletes any other names. And let's see, under Orb, it should start mentioning that we have newly found right here. It says we found an unlinked Orb on this network. Notice WLANPi 639 Ethernet, the ETH. Oh, watch, the Wi-Fi already come. There is an Orb running on the Ethernet interface, and there is another one running on the Wi-Fi interface of that Pi. The name of the Pi is WLANPi 639. The 639 is the last three digits of the MAC address of that Pi. That's why you have multiple Pis in here, and they all have different names because they have different MAC addresses, and the Ethernet and Wi-Fi will specify, will tell you visually which interface you're looking at. So this way you can identify the health of the Ethernet or the Wi-Fi connection. Okay, so there's the 639 Wi-Fi. There should be a 639 Ethernet that I'm having. Here, let me just try to refine it again. 639 Ethernet. Let's just link it to my account. Link to space for WLAN Pros, and it's fully linked right now. So if I go back, now I should have a 639 Wi-Fi, and there should be a 639 Ethernet, but probably I exceeded the number of Orbs I can have. So that's it. If you want to change the settings, let me just show you real quick. Because right now I'm connected, it will tell me right here, the 639 Wi-Fi is connected to a network called Keith. Well, if I want to join a different network, then all I have to do is sudo orb Wi-Fi configure, and then it's going to ask, like, okay, what SSID you want to join? Just make this bigger. This case, let's say I want to join the WLAN Pros hyphen, is it a hyphen or an underscore? Well, let me look at Adrian Granato's tool here. It's a hyphen. WLAN Pros TS. Okay, troubleshooting. So -TS, that's the SSID. It's an open network. So in this case, if I just hit enter, that's it, and I restart the Orb Wi-Fi sensor running on the Wi-Fi interface. So now if I come over here to my Orb, this should take, I don't know, less than a minute. But since it is associated to Keith, it goes offline, it's disconnected. Now it's going to associate to the new WLAN Pros-TS SSID. And in your case, once you set it up in your environment, you just join whatever SSID you want to join. Now, I will go back and join another network that has a password and some security in it and show you the different options. Automatically, it's coming up, it's online, it still shows Keith. Just give it a second, be patient, because this is going to show up with the new SSID here pretty soon. Give it a second. Orbs doing its magic. At least it's back up. It's online. The list of commands, I just don't want to switch the screen so we don't miss it. It's going to switch any minute from Keith to WLAN Pros TS, WLANPi 639, Wi-Fi. Yep, there we go. There it is. It's connected. So it's giving me the health of this NIC connected on that network. So if I want to switch to a different network, all I have to do is just run that command again. Sudo orb Wi-Fi configure. What is SSID? So now let's go back to Keith. Password. Type the password. And then since it has a password, it's going to ask me what security type I have. In this case, I'm going to tell her it's WPA2. I know. So like, oh, that's bad. Do WPA3. It will work with WPA3 as well, but on this network, I just happen to have WPA2, so I'm going to do 3 and enter, and then just restart the Wi-Fi sensor, and it just repeats. No need to kind of like stay here for the whole process to go through, but there are a couple of cool commands that I will show you that you can run. One of them, let me just bring it over here, is looking at the live. Let me just bring this guy over here for my Wi-Fi sensor. If I paste that command in here, it's going to show me live statistics. Let me just make this smaller. Live statistics about what's happening on that. So if you watch it long enough, or if you have this running, of course the text is bigger now and hard to see, but let me just make it smaller. I mean, it was easy to see, now it's hard to see. It will show you what's happening, like when you associate, when you authenticate, what orb it belongs to, the name, the orb ID, all that information is going to be in these statistics. And if, for instance, let me just Control C out of this guy, and I just run the journal CTL without the F, just -U, is going to show me statistics for the time that this guy's been up, and it will have, just go all the way down, it will show you when it associates, and then the attempts it makes to an IP address. Once it gets an IP address, it goes through the whole process, DHCP, discover, offer, request, and act, and then it just shows you what's happening with that orb, when it connects, when it disconnects, when it checks the orb website. All that stuff is in here. So those commands I will also include to the notes. And this is extremely helpful and useful when you're troubleshooting, because you put this on a network and then it's going to start telling you, see, it already switched to Keith. It will tell you what the health is on that network. That's it. I don't think I have anything else to show you. This is the end of session 323 of Tesos and Wi-Fi. Today is Thursday, April 2nd. 2026. En español decimos se les quiere gratis. They're like, we love you for free. Take care of each other. See you next time.